So if I could have your attention for just a moment, even while you're still eating, and just take this opportunity to say a very personal thank you to all of you who helped us on that very tragic Sunday. We cast about among ourselves to think of some way to say thank you other than writing you a letter. I know every time you help someone whose home is on fire or an institution who has an emergency that you must get letters of thanks. But we were looking to do something a little more personal. And one of the background pieces for a dinner like this is once a year, the administration, the president and the vice presidents and so on will put on a dinner similar to this for the staff at the university. It's kind of our way of turning the tables and serving people who served us so well. And so we thought that might be a little more personal than sending you a certificate to go to Subway or McDonald's or the Walden Inn or someplace like that. So what tonight is about is a tangible way, we hope, to say thank you for all that you have done for us. And it is truly heartfelt from everybody at the university. There are a lot of stories about Middle America and small towns and how we stick together and how we do things. And a couple of things that happened on that Sunday morning that are humorous now, but they weren't very funny on that Sunday morning. I know every one of us in this room can remember exactly where we were when we heard about the fire, or the first time we saw the fire and how bad it was. I was out walking the dog and had just come home. We were getting ready to go to church, and I noticed one of our city policemen who was sort of cruising through the neighborhood, sort of hit the accelerator, didn't turn his lights in, but I knew there was some sort of emergency, and later saw him at the fire. We heard the sirens later. We had gone on to church, and he said, you know, when I got the call, I said, you were right in front of our house when you got the call, weren't you? He said, yes, I was. He said, I should have gone back and told you and Bailey. Well, Bailey's our little dog. I thought, well, you know, even in a small town, you not only know the president, you know the name of his dog, and we get to know things. I came over and met a person from Operation Life who said, you know, they've been looking for you everywhere. If they'd asked me, I'd have told them where you went to church. And we know a lot about each other in a small town, and we are friendly with one another, and we are helpful to one another. But what we wanted to really express, we knew you were friendly and kind, and we knew you were helpful, but we were very impressed with the skill level that all of you exhibited in putting out what was a very dangerous fire. And we want to thank not only Greencastle, but the surrounding areas. I thought it was an excellent, excellent illustration of how you cooperated together. As I said, I'm sure everybody here remembers exactly where you were when you got the call, or how you felt when your truck pulled up and you saw the flames shooting through the roof. I came down Hannah Street and parked just outside and found Bill Nugent very quickly and said, how bad is it? And by then it was about 45 minutes into the fire and flames were shooting out of the roof, some of which you've seen again tonight, I guess. And Bill said, well, I'm afraid we might lose the building. And then I asked the question that none of us wanted to ask, and that was, do we think everyone's out of the building? And he said he thought so, and of course that proved to be the case. Everyone might not have gotten out if it hadn't been for you, and we are thankful for that. We certainly wouldn't have a building left if it weren't for you. And we have plans to rebuild that building, to restore it in another year. If things go the way we have planned, we will have people in that building, and that would not be the case without you. So that's really all I want to say. There's not too much we can say to really express how grateful we are. But Bill, if you would come up just on behalf of all of the fire people and rescue people in the room, I'd just like to express my personal appreciation to you. Bill happens to be one person in the room. I was talking about small towns that I've known. Bill Nugent was a little boy at one time. And he and our son played on a baseball team together in Little League. And as the story goes, I've known him all his life. I've known a lot of you for a long time too. What I didn't know until this tragedy happened was how skillful you are at what you do. And I want to just say again to you and all the people how pleased we are, and we just wanted to have some tangible way to express our appreciation, if you'd like to say something.
Thank you, Dr. Bottoms. I think first off, you know, in our line of service, we don't get thanked very often. And I think everyone realizes that, and I think we should take this moment to show our appreciation to DePauw University and the staff here, how grateful we are to them for having this for us tonight. I can't tell you how impressed I was the day of the fire. When we rolled up on the scene, Engine 1, Captain Carrico and his crew was there. They made an interior on the 4th floor to see if to do a primary search on that floor. We had no idea at that point in time that it was already in the attic. And when it started racing across the attic, and we started seeing smoke come out of the other end of the building to the south end, we got a little concerned real quick. We hadn't accounted for everybody that was in the building, and we were still doing our primary searches like that we all are accustomed to doing. That's when we called in the assistance, or we called in the cavalry, per se. And this is when all of you showed up to help us. And I cannot personally thank you enough. The city of Greencastle can't personally thank you enough, and also DePauw University. It was unbelievable the way it came together and it ran, and I'm very proud of each and one of you because we are a brotherhood and we stick together and we work well together. And again, I would like to thank DePauw University for having us here tonight, and God bless you and thank you very much.
The final thing I would like to say is when we have distinguished visitors on campus, we usually offer them some token of our appreciation for their speech. We've done it with prime ministers. We've done it with senators, with vice presidents of the United States. When distinguished people come to campus, we like to give them some remembrance of DePauw. We consider all of you very distinguished people for what you've done for us. And so as you leave tonight, we have DePauw T-shirts or DePauw caps, and we'd like to invite you to choose one, take it. Parenthetically, I would say, wear it, advertise the university, and remember that I hope the food was good, and I hope you get some sense of how much we appreciate you. Thank you.